because you're anchored to what you value, and that's going to dictate the actions that you take, which form your habits. If you have a shitty life, I promise it's because your shitty habits are stuck. Gentlemen, what's going on? I just got through working out and it got me thinking about habits. More importantly, what are your values? Why do you value that? Where did it come from? Why is that important? Because life, simply put, is a collection of our habits. We choose A, we choose B, we get C. Or we choose the opposite of A, we choose the opposite of B, and we get the opposite of C. But we're never going to do anything that contradicts our value system. For example, imagine you grew up in a family that was empathetic, compassionate. They put an importance on sharing, giving, this altruistic mindset. So when you see a homeless guy on the corner, you're probably more apt to give that guy some money, or you're going to give him some food. You understand because that's your values. But on the other hand, if you grew up in a family that was set on being independent, you make your own path. If you don't work, you don't eat, no excuses. Well, you're probably not going to give that guy any money. You're not going to be compassionate. You're probably going to have a harsh word for the dude. Hey, bum, get your ass up and put in the work. And why is this important? Because we're not going to form any habits that contradict our value system, and we want to be strong men. We want to remove ourselves from the standard of fitting in with the sheep. We want to be those dominant, assertive, strong men. So we're going to have to start valuing strength. We're going to have to start valuing power so that we can implement the actions, the habits that create the environment around us, that create our life. But we're fully aware that we live in a society that is deemed masculinity toxic, that is deemed seeking strength and power and leadership toxic. We live in a feminized culture where they want men docile, and they steal away the very autonomy to be strong, to be powerful, to be man in essence. Therefore, we're going to have to be aware of what we value, because we've just grown up, whether intentionally or unintentionally, to be more weak, more soft, to follow the guidelines of our culture. And our parents, again, whether intentionally or unintentionally, have kind of created this value system that fits in with the narrative of culture. And so we form these habits that we know really don't fit what's intrinsic with our nature, but we're going along with it just because that's how you function in life. But I call bullshit. We're wanting to be those sovereign men, those masculine men, those men that return to the excellence of tradition. Then we're going to have to be aware of our value system, because what we value is going to dictate our actions, which form our habits, which form our life. If we want stronger actions, stronger habits, we have to value strength. Whatever direction we want to go in, we have to value that, or we're never going to contradict our value system. We can't want to be rich yet have a value system where we grew up saying, oh no, if you're rich, you're corrupt and you stole it, or you're evil, or die. We have to align our actions and habits with their value system, because you're never going to contradict those. We've got to begin to value strength, to begin to value power, to begin to value masculinity. And again, we've went all these years valuing something else, maybe valuing the complete opposite of what we want: wealth, power, strength, money, whatever it may be. So it's not going to be an overnight shift. We're going to have to be aware of what we're valuing so that we can begin to implement some actions and form habits that align and are in congruence with what we value. We've been following the narratives and the ideas and the structure of someone else's values. We are men. We seek autonomy. We seek a power. So we have to go back inward, which is the theme of the channel for this year. Go inward, figure out what the hell you value so that you can be heading in a worthy direction that fits you, your characteristics. We can't be following the values of someone else, because that's going to form our habits, and we're going to end 1,000 miles that way when really we're wanting to go 1,000 miles the other direction. Our values will form our habits. We're never going to contradict our value system. If you're not happy with where you're at in life, you have to look at what you value, because you're anchored to what you value, and that's going to dictate the actions that you take, which form your habits. If you have a shitty life, I promise it's because your shitty habits are stuck to your shitty values. You want a stronger life with stronger habits, you have to value something stronger. Love and respect, gentlemen. You will hear from me next episode.